Long that just came in a few moments ago. We understand that Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and King Long that just came in a few moments ago. We understand that Jerry.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of your WWE Roundup with Arran and my trusty co-host John. How are you, John?
Yeah, not too bad. Day off today, so it's been a relaxing day.
Yeah, had a nice week with work and stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've been on holiday this week, apart from Saturday. So
Nice. So let's just get right into it and talk about Monday Night Raw. So the show opened up with obviously Triple H introducing John Cena. So take us away, John.
So, like you said, the show opened with Triple H in the ring. He introduced the champ, basically the GOAT.
Yeah, the greatest of all time, man.
He came down. He chatted about like how his career's been, and then we get the music of Mr. Mysterio.
Yes.
Now, it had been speculated all day that this match was going to be happening throughout all social platforms, whether it was X, Instagram, YouTube, people going on predicting like how the show would open and stuff. And yeah, it really just set the tone for the whole show, really.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this now. I know we're only at the start, but this was one of the better Raws of the whole year.
100%, mate. 100%. I agree with you how in fact came out, did the stuff about the tournament and stuff. Talked about it was his last time, because obviously it was his hometown area, and then obviously Dom comes out, interferes, does what he does, and then Triple H announces, right, fuck it, let's have Dominic Mysterio versus John Cena for the IC belt on the line, and I thought, oh, this is a nice way to start the show, considering with all the speculation and what we spoke about, thinking, yes, he's not had the IC belt, he's not won it, he's not been a Grand Slam champ, and I was thinking, we've talked about it for weeks, saying, yes, it's his last run in the company, surely they've got to give him that nod. Now, mate, brilliant match, absolutely brilliant match, and I love how Dominic is still trying the lying, the cheating, and stealing stuff. And he comes into the ring with the chair and he goes to hit Cena with it. And honestly, and then Cena just lies on the floor, like the way they do it, they move the belt and he goes. And I was like, that is fucking class. But what I think, right, that Dom forgets is, yes, obviously, Dom was younger when when he was betrayed the custody of Eddie and stuff. But remember, he is the GOAT. He is now the IC champ. He is now a Grand Slam champ. Okay? So the fact that he would have been in the business when Eddie was there, so he'd know all the tricks as well that Eddie pulled. But I just thought it was class how he did that. The match was brilliant, and happy he's got it. And it was just brilliant as well, though, how the way he is, how he's all on his own now, and then what he's doing on Twitter, on X, by putting the whole gimmick like lonely. Thoughts on the match and everything else in between, John?
I thought, like you say, it was a great way to open the show. A bit different to how we have started Raw in the past. And it wasn't. It was. Do you know what? It felt nice to get a fresh opening, and like you alluded to, with Dom on social media when he's like, "Where were they? Why weren't they out there?" And then like changing his song to "Lonely" on Twitter, blacking out his Instagram profile picture.
Yeah.
and you can definitely tell the Judgment Day is slowly coming apart.
Oh yeah, totally. You could see, like we've seen it for weeks, as we know, talked about it, and you could see the cracks forming, and it's just a moment of time before it obviously happens. Now, obviously, after the Cena match, we get the next match, which was Rusev versus Damian Priest in the last time it is now tournament. Obviously, Rusev won his match last week, so he's progressed and he's facing Priest, and obviously, Rusev won the match. Thoughts, my friend?
Again, it was like the match was really spotty. Like the spot fest were great, and when they took the fight outside, and Rusev went straight for the eye.
Yeah.
I thought that was an incredible way to, you know, play the match out by going for the easiest target to hit.
Totally, 100%.
But the right person won the match.
Yes, I think so. It's building, like I'm liking what they're doing with this, with the tournament and stuff, and what we're seeing and everything else, and it's great to see that there's different opponents and everything, that what we've got coming, if you know what I mean, for later on, if that makes sense. Then we get a Punk promo after the last time tournament. And I thought it was a really solid promo because obviously it's building towards. Oh fuck! Shit! It's building towards War Games, and looking at it, from what I've seen, it looks like they're only needing one more member. If memory serves me correctly, with what's happened and what obviously happens on SmackDown, and I have a feeling, I think I know who that member could be, but I could be way off. But I think we'll find out potentially properly on Monday night when Raw comes back around and stuff. But again, what can you say? Punk just delivers everything he needs to in a promo, if you know what I mean. And I thought it was a good way to set everything in motion and move it in the direction. And then obviously there was the stuff with Logan Paul and others, and then obviously the Usos and everything else. So it's setting up what we need to set up for War Games coming. Your thoughts, my friend?
Well, like I like the promo. The promo was solid, but it was when they went backstage and they were all sat, they were all stood, and I can't remember if it was Punk or not that said Regal, and he was there on point, and he
Yeah,
just said the one line, and I was like,
yeah,
oh wow, it just set up the whole tone for that whole match being War Games.
yeah. And I'm looking forward to it when it comes around, if you know what I mean. I really am
Really?
looking forward to it and seeing how it happens and everything else. Next match on the evening, Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez. Obviously, Vaquer wins, but there was a bit shenanigans involved in this as well. Take it away, John.
Yeah, because didn't Lash and Naya come out?
Nope. I don't think they came out. I think Roxanne and that was there. Oh no, there was an attack anyway. You might be right. There was an attack, and then Nikki Bella made the save,
Yeah,
and it's
and
after
then
after that. Yeah,
yeah, because didn't she not smack her with the belt after?
yes,
Yeah, the heel turn was done perfectly well. It was at the right spot as well,
100%, mate.
and like we've said, for the last couple of weeks, they two in the ring have the most amazing chemistry.
Yep. You can't, mate. I'm trying to find something in the process of whilst we're chatting at the same time. I just absolutely cannot find what I'm looking for. Next match was Last Man Standing tournament match again. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sheamus. Wow. Again, I'm loving that Shinsuke has got his own music back and everything else, and we're seeing Sheamus creating a banger of a match. Again, I think the right person won with Sheamus, because this could build towards potentially more when the tournament progresses even further. And I'm liking what they're doing, but I still have a feeling it could be somebody else that wins this, depending on if what I don't think it's going to happen now, just based on the final competitive the bracket for Raw. There's 2 more matches being announced and one has a mystery opponent, if that makes sense. So thoughts on your match on this one, John?
Like you said, because it's the last time it's now tournament. I think the match was an absolute banger, and I'm agreeing with you with Shinsuke getting his old music back and Sheamus performing bangers. And I like how the fact that the people that have had history with Cena in the past are progressing.
Yes, 100%. I think that's the way he wanted it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I think I'm. I think I know who Solo's opponent's going to be. I know we're going off topic here, but I definitely think I know who Solo's opponent's going to be.
Okay, right. We can get to that when I get to the names, because that's what I was looking for. Because the tournament continues. So, here we
Yeah,
are. It's
I can 2 seconds. The tournament names. There was a post put out.
it is. Wait a minute. Is that Javon?
Yeah, Javon versus Gunther.
Javon versus Gunther. Yep. And the other match is Solo versus a mystery opponent. So, whilst we're on it, go for your thought, then, my friend. Come on, come on.
So Adam Pierce says everyone's way off with their predictions. So like people are like saying Joe Henry and all that, but I think with what happened on SmackDown, with who came out for
Yeah.
that, I think it's going to be Chris Jericho.
Ooh, interesting. Not Edge.
Not Edge, because I believe they're in London filming a movie.
Ah, right. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That makes
So
perfect sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you don't get Edge, then the other biggest draw would be Jericho, because
Jericho.
Jericho did have that feud where Cena got him fired from the company,
That's
and
right.
then he
Yeah,
went away for I think it was 2 years or 3 years,
yeah.
and then come back.
So that could be good, actually. So, right. Final match of the evening was women's tag team title match. Bliss and Flair versus Kabuki Warriors, and not particularly happy, but it is what it is. Kabuki Warriors are now tag champs. I thought it was a very good match. It still showcased what Charlotte and that can do together, even though they're meant to be frenemies and stuff. It just shows the chemistry, and it's the best I've seen Charlotte as a face in a long, long time, and she's enjoying doing what she's doing with Bliss, if you know what I mean. But I think this is building to obviously something for the women's War Games team, because obviously what happened again on SmackDown. How like she says she doesn't trust a certain someone, but we could cover that on SmackDown, or was it on Raw? She said it. I can't remember. Anyway, thoughts on the match?
Like you said, I wasn't too happy about the outcome, but it is what it is. It builds to where it needs to be.
Yes,
And the bit you're talking about did happen at the start of SmackDown.
that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going thingy.
But I think this is where we're going to see a team disband completely,
Oh, okay. We could talk about that.
because with what happened on SmackDown, there was friction between this certain team.
Okay. I'm trying to remember which team that was, but you could fill me in because I forgot certain aspects. Right. Match of the evening for Monday Night Raw.
Has to be Sheamus and Shinsuke Nakamura.
100% agree, mate. Can't agree any more than that. Right. Right. NXT. Tuesday night, NXT. Show opens with Tatum Paxley promo. Go on, John.
Again, the promo delivered emotional. There was emotion shown. There was characterization shown. There was just how she's totally improving on the mic every single time she's on that microphone.
Yeah, mate. And it's
And the
go on.
and the work she's putting in, like, if she doesn't get the best newcomer, like, sort of thing, for the NXT side of things, or Rookie of the Year,
For like in the Slammy Awards.
yeah, then there's something seriously wrong with the Slammies.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's just brilliant, honestly, to see what she could do and where it's going to go and where it can go, if you know what I mean. And it's going to be very, 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 very interesting when that full switch from heel to face actually happens. And I'm so right now, I'm so invested in it. First match of the evening. I'm very, very happy. I am very, very happy. Because it was for the Speed Championship. El Grande Americano versus Jasper Troy. And we have a new Speed Champion. Jasper Troy is the new champ. I thought it was a brilliant match. Great to see them putting the way forward, paving the way for him. If I remember correctly, there was some involvement from the other two Los Americanos and stuff to try, but I love what they do with this. It's great to see. They've changed it from it being on Twitter to the men and the women's speed championships now actually being on NXT, and you're still getting. Yeah, you've got a 5 minute time limit and whatever else, but you're still getting the same effects that you were. They've not changed much about from when it was on X, when they put it on X. I think, like you, they weren't getting enough viewers when they were putting it out to watch it, whereas now you're getting more eyes on it because it's on Netflix, it's on Peacock and everything else, and stuff. So I'm very, very happy that Mr. Troy has the belt, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that changes stuff for El Grande Americano and Los Americanos. You take it away, my friend.
Again, great match, fantastic way to, elevate the belt. But I didn't like the commentators who sold the championship,
Yeah,
because they were moaning that a bigger belt, and they were like, "Oh, but how is this supposed to be? This is supposed to be a speed championship. So the match is supposed to be quicker." But what I like about the men's is the men's get 5 minutes, the women's get 3 minutes.
yeah.
So, but it shows what Troy can do in the ring,
100%, mate.
and it's also paving the way to grow him into this position of either getting like the North American Championship or going and getting the big prize, the NXT Championship.
Totally, 100%, mate. And we believe in Thea Hale. We believe in Thea Hale. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Thea Hale versus Alba Fire. And this feud obviously is going to continue because what's been going on. Because obviously at Gold Rush, putting it out there, Gold Rush on Tuesday evening. It is Chelsea Green and Ethan Page versus Thea Hale and Mr. Henry for the Triple A Championship, I think it is. Correct me if I'm right or wrong.
The Triple A Mixed Tag Team Championship.
Championship. There we go. I knew, but so mate, this was I can see why they put Alba Fire against her and stuff, because they've had the stuff that she's already had the match or had stuff with oh fuck, Chelsea Green and stuff. But no, this was really, really good to see, and actually to get to see Alba Fire actually in a wrestling match, actually in her security gear as well, but to see her actually, because we're not seeing her in a match for a while, John, but to actually see her being able to showcase what she can do rather than just being like a security guard, if you know what I mean. So for me, it was a great match. Right person won, but again, great to see them. But what I'm loving with this story, right, with both of them and obviously Mr. Hendry, because he created the song about being pied and then being pied, and she said, "Oh, I've never been pied like that before," and everything else, right, and stuff, and then La Cristofio, who is a lawyer by right, and put it out and put a cease and desist that they needed to take this down. And then you've sent me the stuff on like we've been chatting backwards and forwards, and you've sent me the stuff that Mr. Cardona's put out, and like because he was then wearing like his t-shirt and stuff, and I'm thinking it's came full circle because obviously yes, what happens on, if you know, SmackDown, if that makes sense, but it's just brilliant how it's all came together with the two of them, and the fact that Matt's gotten involved as well. And I thought that whole thing class, considering with obviously Friday night, if you know what I mean. Take it away. Take it away.
But you also missed out what Mr. Hendry sent. Remember?
Yes, but mate,
She
that's why
said,
I didn't, mate. I didn't want to steal all the fucking thunder.
"Oh, right. Yeah, nah. Like she says, she said I need a lawyer,
Yep.
and then Joe Henry replies with a picture of him in 2016. No, 20. Was it 2016 or
2016,
2017?
2017. I can't remember the year, but anyway.
With him as a lawyer with the sadly but no longer with us anymore, Lionheart.
Yep.
And I thought that was a great touch because
Yeah.
it's because the story building's getting to the point where it needs to be.
Oh yeah, 100%, mate.
And when obviously Chelsea sent all that stuff, and then Joe went and made another song
Yeah.
saying that Mark Cardona approves of it.
It's like, wow, honestly, I'm thinking it's creative genius, and the fact that they're letting him and obviously Chelsea run with it as well. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, they have like I think I think with the way NXT run as well with Sean, he likes this aspect of it being not a parody, but he likes to have the superstars in control of their own creative
Yeah.
as well as being creative himself.
No, I agree, and I like it because you're getting to see the fruits of the labour from various different talent just now because of what they're doing within it, if you know what I mean. Oh, excuse me. Then we get Skylar. Oh, Jesus. Skylar Rage versus Fallon Henley. Henley wins the match. John, take it away. Sorry.
Look, again, great match, absolutely fantastic. Fallon Henley is she looks like she could end up turning on Fatal Influence herself and go her own way.
She
And
could go her own way.
I think I think uh, like Fatal Influence are they're a good team, but I think more than one person in that team can go their own way.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, mate, and you're right. Again, it was a very good match. 100%, very, very good match. And again, it sets up for any of them, but I do think that Fallon will be the one that will potentially go first, if that makes sense. Then we get Mr. Tavian Heights versus Mr. Josh Briggs, and Tavian Heights wins. But man, again, I see it week on week when he's in the ring. He's just proven everything that he does. He's even when he gets to main roster, mate, it's going to turn to fucking gold. And for Briggs to be able to put Heights over as well, just absolutely brilliant. And I, I would love, and don't see it happening, because I know we've been speaking about War Games, but could we potentially, because there's friction in different groups in NXT, could we get an NXT War Games match as well? Somewhere down the line, if you know what I mean? Thoughts on the match, my friend?
Fabian Heights is one of my favourite guys in NXT, along with Miles Bourne. And I know the match wasn't against Miles Bourne, but the direction that Fabian Heights is going in is absolutely amazing. I mean, the upset he caused against Josh Briggs was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to see another side of Tavian Heights that we've not seen for a while.
Yes.
And I think that you're right. We could see an NXT, but I know you said there's friction between teams in NXT, but I think it's not going to be as simple as a team on team from NXT. I think it's going to be NXT versus TNA.
Just because what happened the other evening on TNA when practically all of NXT invaded, and basically even Santino came out and Santino Marella got attacked. And I'd seen when it happened, I'd seen Ava had put out a tweet when it aired and stuff and whatever else, saying this is nothing to do with me. So could we see more stuff happening with that, with the TNA and obviously NXT stars going forward, pushing the envelope even more the way that they have done, because the cross brand and what they're doing, which I think is still great to see, that we're getting to see these stars. Yes, some were originally WWE stars, but have moved over to the TNA brand, and they're just doing fucking phenomenal for themselves. But to be able to get to see guys like Matt Cadona, Mike Santana, to name a few. I've got there's more there, but to get to see guys, Zigglepuff, Nick Nemeth, go on, name names, come on. The inspiration.
Yeah. Moose,
exactly, mate. To get to see guys like this in WWE that were around before, you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I'm going to put this out there, right? I know we don't speak about TNA much on the pod, but I want to wish Fandango, aka JDC, happy retirement for when he does eventually hang up the boots.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see Breezango finally get that reunion that they surely deserve.
Yeah,
and I
100%.
hope because he's obviously back with WWE, Tyler Breeze, I hope they do one last run with
with Breezango. Yeah, no, I agree, mate. And as you're talking about, like, the he's back, obviously, Chavo Guerrero has obviously returned as well, and he's helping with the Triple A side and on the producing side for WWE. So it's great to see things like this is happening, and people that have been away are coming back into the fold for WWE, which is great. Right, moving on, sorry, because we waffle like we always do. Main event of the evening, Ricky Saints versus Tricky Williams. John, take it away, mate, because, oh my God, wow.
Right. So, the last man standing match, we know that.
Yep.
Fantastic match. Right person won.
Yep.
But, now we have not seen this done in years.
Mm-hmm.
The lights go dark. The music hits.
Yep.
You see the silhouette. Boom. show ends.
Show ends. Who the fuck is it? Who the fuck is it, man?
I know who it is. Yeah, because the music gives it away.
I know it does, but it's like you're expecting. Holy shit! You're expecting, you know,
Yeah,
and I'm like, don't leave me hanging like that, man. And I was like, that's like you watch you watch something on the TV and it's like the end it there, but then you've got like you're watching a series and then you have to wait unless it's on like BBC iPlayer or whatever, because sometimes you know how they put their episodes out like in advance. You could go back and watch it. Whereas this, we know who it is, but we'll not spoil it because hopefully this person shows up on the start of Gold Rush.
Well, you know what? They kind of ruined it on social media anyway.
I know they did.
But like I said, they've not. Shawn Michaels has not, like, obviously he didn't have control back then,
Yeah.
but it was just genius to see a show end in such a EastEnders fashion.
Yeah,
With
mate, exactly. You're sitting there, yeah, the music hits, it ends, and the lights go out, music hits, get the silhouette, and then you're like, wait a minute, where's the fucking rest? You're like, I've got to potentially, yes, we know now, but I'm thinking, I've got to potentially tune in next week to see where this goes. And that in itself alone, genius. But for me, brilliant fucking match, right person won. And I'm looking forward to seeing where that silhouette and where it all been out there, where it goes. But for me, match of the night has to be the main event. I'm sorry, it had absolutely everything you needed in that last man standing match. I don't know about you, but I thought that for me, that was that was match of the night, hands down.
Like the spots, like so. How many? Is it 2 last man standing matches Ricky Sate's been in now?
Yeah,
And they've both ended with his head being shoved in a chair.
yeah, mate. It's mental, eh?
But to 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 go through that and put your body through that much pain and suffering, like I know every other person does it as well, but to end this the match the way that ended with the chair shot, and then he gets up and just manages to miraculously stay up,
Yeah,
and you're thinking, wait a minute, Trick should be the one standing up because he was the one that done the move.
yeah,
Absolute genius way to end that match. But
absolute
that is
genius.
no match,
So
that's for
before we
sure.
go on Friday Night SmackDown, obviously, because obviously Gold Rush is over the next 2 weeks for NXT. So we've already announced the mixed tag match, and obviously it's in New York. So we also have Blake Monroe defends her North American Championship against Soul Ruka, which to me doesn't make any sense because she had to get Zarya to defend it because she had an injury, but clearly she wasn't, if you know what I mean. I don't know why that happened. Uh,
I think you know, I think it was to set up the what's going to happen this week.
yeah, and then you've got Tatum Paxley versus Jessie J for the women's NXT Championship. And I think that's it.
Oh, I'm gonna put this out there, right? And this is just a question I'm going to ask you.
Yep.
Have you seen the picture of Blake Monroe and Izzy Dame?
Yes.
Wow.
I know, mate. I know. And what I thought was a nice spot in that as well is not to do the backstage segments, like Blake Monroe do interviewing herself. And I'm like, oh, this is different. But I thought it was class as well. Right, moving on to Friday Night SmackDown. And it opens with the segment of the fallout from Monday Night Raw. Take us away, my friend. Take us away because of what happened with Bliss and Flair. With them losing the belts
Yeah.
and what happened. And because obviously there's a bit that happened with Lash and that getting involved from Raw. And then you see, because we forgot to touch on this on Raw, sorry. We see obviously Rhea standing on the ropes, getting on the mic and mentioning War Games. And Charlotte's standing there and Io's there. So I'm thinking, okay, it looks like it's going to be Lash and Nia. is whatever, and it looks like specifically in my head I thought, well, it's going to be them with Bliss and then one more, but we get what happens.
But like, so Charlotte comes in and she has friction with a couple of the members,
Yep.
and then there's an argument breaks out between Alexa and Charlotte.
Yep.
And this is where I think the split's going to happen between them two.
I don't think so.
But I think they're going to do it, right? And then so I think Charlotte joins the opposite team at War Games, right?
Okay.
But they're going to full circle it, because what they'll do is they'll have Charlotte make the team believe that she's with them, then she costs the other team and then joins back.
I see. So they're putting it out there. There's friction between the two of them, but there isn't actually. She's came out and says that she doesn't trust Rhea and everything else, but she's allowing Bliss to be part of that team and stuff.
Yeah.
So my theory, I like that one. Well, look who's returning on Monday Night Raw. There's a few people, but who's returning on Monday Night Raw?
I know, Lee.
So I think, right, because they're now a member down, because with Charlotte, AJ's going to join Rhea's team, and that'll be the 5th member for them. And Charlotte could potentially, as you say, join them, but then cost them, and then her and Bliss are back on an even keel.
Or I'm just, because you mentioned AJ Lee.
Yeah.
Could we see a backstage segment of a member of the other team get taken out by a certain Lynch?
Ah.
And then taking between them.
But then could you get as well, right? Because this is just me in fantasy booking as well, right? Could you as well get, right? Because the argument that they had, could you not get throughout the weeks, right? Well, I know we've not got much, but this Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, because the brand split at the moment is completely fucking not being utilised the way it's meant to be. So Monday Night Raw, because what happened on SmackDown and Monday Night, other team members plead with Charlotte or plead with Bliss. No, we need to get her on side. We need her. We really need her because she's the power, right? So, and as you say, an attack happens, right, on Monday, right? So Lynch, something happens, one of their members gets taken out, and Lynch is there. Then again, they start pleading again, but another member gets taken out, so they have to replace again on the heel side. And eventually it gets to the point whereas she, hypothetically, it's not going to be, but over the course of Raw, SmackDown, and then you've obviously got War Games, like then, okay, everything's coming like it. Charlotte's redeemed herself because she's took out a few of the team members, and she joins back the team because the heel team retaliates.
Yeah, or do you think WWE, right? I know it's completely, they're not the same. They're not on the same level. Well, they are on the same level, but the NXT isn't a third brand. But could Triple H take a leaf out of Sean's book and have one episode of Raw end the way NXT ended, where music hitting, the silhouette comes out,
Oh mate, don't.
And then we'd have to wait for SmackDown to find out what happens.
Man, now
wow,
that is, mate, that is genius and interesting, right? That's brilliant, and stuff. That is class. I've never thought of that, but yeah, it's building to what it's making us. That's why we're talking about it the way we are, and that's what I love, because what it's doing, it's making War Games for the women's side feel more thingy, because for the men's side, we more or less kind of know what's happening and who's in the teams now, based on obviously what happens to on like SmackDown as well. So sorry, then we get Jey Uso versus the Miz in the Last Man Now tournament. I think they did them as a disservice here. I'm sorry. I loved a main event Jey Uso, but I don't think Jey Uso needed to win this. It would have been nice to see the Miz go slightly further in this tournament. Maybe not all the way, but if you think of the feud that the Miz and Cena's had way back when,
That's what I was just about.
you know what I mean?
I think, but what I think they've done is right. So, I think they've looked at it and thought, well, Sheamus had a rivalry with John Cena. Rusev had a rivalry with John Cena. We'll just sweep up. We'll mix it up now because Jay has actually tagged with Cena,
Yeah.
and then didn't he not cost the Usos a tag match at one point?
Yeah, I think he did, mate. But that's I get the thing, but the fact if you look at the feud they had, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying it's no. I'm not sure with this tournament if Cena's has a full say who I'm assuming he has, if you know what I mean, who people are that are in it and stuff, if that makes sense. But yeah, Jay
You know,
won, but I don't think Jay's going all the way, if that makes sense.
no, no, like, and I don't. No, I was saying this earlier to my pal on a phone call we were having, because he's like, "Oh, Gunther's going to squash Javon." I goes, "I don't think Javon. I don't think he's going to squash him. I think what they're doing is they've looked at online and the online speculation that Gunther's going to be John Cena's last opponent,
Yeah,
and I think they're going to shuffle it up. I think Javon's going to actually get the win.
I do too, mate. Well, we've not seen Gunther since whenever
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, and this is his first appearance back. If you know what I mean, to be in the John Cena tournament, which is fair enough. And then obviously
No,
next, eh?
was it SummerSlam?
I think it
Or
was,
was it
mate. I don't
WrestleMania?
think we've seen him since SummerSlam. And then
Uh,
and then we get the continuation of the Open Challenge with Ilya Dragunov versus Axiom. Mate, go on. I can't. Mate, wow.
right. So we've seen what Nathan Fraser can do on his own,
Yes.
and Axiom. I know who it is under the mask.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you
I am aware.
you know
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
under,
yeah.
but to see him push himself that little bit extra, I in spots in the match, I actually thought, fuck, Ilya's gonna lose the match.
Yeah, I thought so.
And there was a time where he got the roll up and it was like 1, 2, and the left hand was going down. And then just before he hit the mat, it was like boom, Ilya kicked out, and I'm like, holy fuck, they put
Yeah.
on a barn burner.
Keep it.
That that could
This is
that
keeping
could
me
have potentially
invested.
been a Mania match.
Yeah, mate. But this Open Challenge with Dragunov is keeping me invested in what he's doing and stuff. And then I can't remember. Yes, no, it was before this. So we get Mr. Sami Zayn. Now I love this, mate. This was absolutely brilliant. Now he's not been medical cleared and everything else. He calls out Solo, but he doesn't come alone. He has backup. He has more set machine guns, and he has Shinsuke Nakamura, and they take out the MFTs before they get there. And then basically Sammy says what he says, and I think, unless it's already been announced, but I think this is alluding to a traditional wait a minute, a traditional Survivor Series, but only 4 of them instead of 5.
No,
Is it not?
no, 5 on maybe
Is
5-on-5.
is it 5 on 5?
Yeah. Because uh
You've got MFTs and Souls, so you've got Shinsuke, Motor City Machine Guns, Sammy. So I'm trying to think who the other person is that's with Sammy, that unless that's been announced. I can't remember.
not yet,
But that's
but
what I mean, because I
um
originally remember, I think that's why we've pivoted for War Games to the match that we're getting with a Vision. Does that make sense? Because I
yeah.
think we were meant to get the Wyatts versus Oh, fuck.
MFT.
MFTs. But I think the reason they haven't done that is because the Wyatt Six, they don't have a fifth member. They do, but they don't, but it's a woman. And the MFTs don't. They've got their 4 plus Solo.
You
Nikki,
know what? They could have just re-signed Tamina and had Tamina there.
I know they could have done, mate, but that's why I think it's not done, because you think about it, Bo can't play both characters in the ring at the same time. He can't play as Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas unless somebody else dressed up as one of them and he played as the other, if that makes sense. That's the only way logistically, and I don't think it would work. So I think that's why we've pivoted and we've got the match that we've got where Punk, Cody Rhodes,
Jimmy
and Jay, and I can't remember.
Cody's in that match as well.
Cody, Punk, Jimmy and Jay, and there's one more. I can't remember who the other one is.
That's not been announced yet.
That's not been announced yet, so I think that could be somebody else.
I think it's somebody returning.
Well, that would be nice. So anyway, yeah.
Or-
so I could,
or-
yeah.
Or could this be the introduction of a certain Mr. Henry?
Yes. Well, we'll talk about that later. So after the Sammy calls out, we get a backstage segment with Mr. R-Truth, and R-Truth is speaking to Nick Aldis, and Nick's already told him numerous weeks. He says, I really want to face John Cena. Take my balls, put my balls in to the machine, know how they're pulling them out and stuff. So he takes these plastic balls with his names in both of these plastic balls, which I think is class as fuck, right? Chelsea Green comes in complaining because our championship celebration for winning and stuff, being the new US champion, fair play, well done. She didn't get that on Friday night. But did you not see when she came in backstage under her eyes, wear makeup? And it was alluding to, because that's what happened, that happens right behind that. She kind of gave it away before, if you know what I mean. So he says, right, I'll give you this match if you take these balls. And she's holding on. I mean, I thought it was class. It was just brilliant. Horny as fuck, but class. And she goes, oh, whose balls are these? These look really nice. And then Alba Figueroa as well. And I'm thinking, wow. You get the first part with R-Truth being that, and then Chelsea Green just following it up like that as well. And then, obviously, we get to the net. Well, before we get to the match, what was your thoughts on that whole segment, mate? Because I was just pissing myself fucking laughing throughout it from start to end.
You know what, right? See when I'm gonna give him the name Ron Cena.
Yes.
Came in. But at first Aldous was like he wasn't wanting to take them.
Yeah.
And then he goes, take my balls, and then he goes, no, I'm not taking them yet. And he goes, just take my balls. And he's like, all right, I'll take them. I was like, I was wetting myself.
Yeah.
But like you say, R-Truth being back on WWE TV is comedy gold.
Oh yeah, 100%, mate. And then I think that's what made it more though as well, how Aldous took into it, but then Chelsea Green coming in, giving us a snippet before what happens next, which I thought was pretty class. And then obviously we get to what happens next. We get the last man tournament. Mr. LA Knight's music hits. Mr. LA Knight standing in the ring, and he's waiting. The music hits, and it's woo, woo, woo. You know it. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. I'm thinking,
yeah, because Cultaholic have kicked up a fuss about this.
Okay, go on.
Because back in, I think it was 2021,
Yep.
they'd asked Matt Cardona if he was ever going to come back as Zack Ryder.
And he said no, because he said Zack Ryder was dead. Because I remember he had an interview with Chris Van Leet about it as well, saying that he was dead and stuff. But
Yeah.
I've seen somewhere else that he had a thing. I can't remember where it was. He had it, and he said he's always got the gear there just in case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh wow, to see that music, it makes sense, right?
Because of when John Cena, Eve, and him had that storyline back
Yes,
in
and
20.
that's why I thought it made sense. And people were losing their shit saying, why wasn't it Matt Cardona? Because he's went to the Indies and made himself the king of the Indies and what he did in the Indies. And people were saying, why wasn't it him? And I'm thinking, wait a minute. He wasn't the king of the Indies when he was in WWE, when he had the feud with Cena, and if he's going to be in this tournament, it made sense for him to bring that gimmick back. And
Oh, absolutely.
could this be? Obviously, yes, he didn't win. LA Knight advanced and moved on, but could this be the start of something for Matt to potentially continue as Zack in WWE?
Well, so I've seen I've seen bits and pieces online after that whole show up on SmackDown, and I've seen some reporting that it's one off, and some Matt said it's a one off at the moment because he
Yeah,
doesn't know if WWE want him back on screen or could be used full time.
yeah.
But he is open to a chat with like WWE management about a potential comeback.
I mean, now that would be honestly interesting because I seen the bit like backstage where he did a backstage segment. He did the woo woo, you know it, and then
Yeah.
obviously early night after the match, and he goes, "Yeah." I don't know what that was, but whether you're back, if it's a one time thing, or if you're back for good, well done out there. And I'm thinking that, mate, right? Because if you look at the way LA Knight does his pose and the way Cadona does his pose,
Yeah, he goes like that. He goes,
yeah, they're exactly similar, right?
yeah.
Could we get, if it were to happen, right? Hear me out because I've seen it elsewhere. Could we get a tag team of LA Knight and Zack Ryder and call them Knight Rider?
No, I know. I've got a name for them.
Go on.
The Yeah Bros.
Oh man, that's brilliant. Oh wow. But no, I'm happy that he got even though it was might only be that one time, I'm happy he got that moment
But
again.
no, I do like that name that you've suggested as well.
Yeah,
That's
Knight
really
Rider,
smart.
yeah. It goes, mate. It goes. Right, Jade Cargill versus BFAB. Cargill wins. Hit us with your death stop.
You know what? I wasn't really invested in this match
Mm-hmm.
because, like, I know you've got to give the women a chance, but BFAB doesn't really have very much moves in her vocabulary.
Yes.
I mean, she should go to like. I'm not downgrading her in any way, shape, or form, but I think she should go to Evolve and build herself up properly. Then go to NXT, learn a few new moves, get shown like a collection of moves that she could use,
Yeah.
and then train herself up on the mic skills, the promos, and then have her come back as a bigger, better person, like what they've done with Maxine Dupree. They put her back to NXT, then they brought her back up and teamed her with the Alpha Academy.
Yeah. And the work she's sorry, excuse me, and the work she's doing with Natalia.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Mate, I'm
and, ju-
just go on.
and speaking of Natalia,
Yeah.
she had an interview with, I think it was the Metro UK, and she was asked about she was asked if the rumors were true about Ilya Dragunov being in the dungeon while he was injured,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and she said that he came in and with a fire in his being, he showed them moves instead of them showing him moves.
Wow, mate, that's mental. I was just looking through to see if I could find that video whilst we were chatting away. For Mr. Cadona. I didn't see it, but he put out. So this was an hour ago. He put this out. I'm always ready, but thanks to G Wrestleware, I really was always ready. They made my new Zack Ryder gear for SmackDown in 24 hours. I think we need a figure from Mattel. What do you think? And the fact that the gear, that's I'm showing it there, like that they made it within 24 hours that he knew he was going, which I thought was class. And then I just found this and I'm surprised. Look at that, mate. WWE actually put tops. Look on the Euro shop. Because he put out it's 2025.
Class.
You could buy your Zack Ryder shirts on WWE shop. Go now. Get the shirts. And then he put up about it, where was it? Who bought one or all three? Now that was 22 hours ago after they put the tops up.
So that's just speculating that he's coming back full term.
Well, he had a meet and greet last night for TNA. There was a meet and greet. The grind continues. See me tonight at TNA. Stick around for the meet and greet. So that was, last night where they were in full sight last night, Orlando, Florida. But mate, it's just, oh wow. To see the fact that it's came a full circle moment, and the fact that even his Chelsea Green is getting her own merch in that now as well, and he put out a tweet about that saying, "Oh, it makes a change from my merch holding up the cover and stuff." So, final match of the evening: Cody Rhodes versus Bronson Reed. Now, this match ended in a disqualification because quite a few people got involved. One.
But we've missed a spot.
Yeah, go for that.
We forgot to mention the Vision having a backstage segment with Nick Aldis that cumulates into this.
Fuck yeah. Sorry, I totally did forget about that, yes.
So basically what happened was he basically said, basically asked Paul Heyman what he was doing at SmackDown. Paul Heyman said, I have the right to be at all three brands. You can't tell me what to do. And then he said he was going to call security to escort him out the building. And he said, and then he mentioned that he could speak to any member of talent he wanted. And he states he doesn't say it lightly, but he says it in capital letters with anybody.
Yeah.
And then we'll get onto the match.
Yeah, so match happens, doesn't go very far. Logan Paul gets involved, Vision get involved. Uso, Jimmy and Jay come and make the save for Cody. And then Mr. McIntyre gets involved, which the commentators I looked at, what the fuck's he doing here? Not swearing, but that's what my natural reaction would be. What the fuck's he doing here? He's actually suspended. And then Aldous is like, what the hell, comes out and says that. And then that's when he goes, remember, I can speak to anybody. He's got the black folder thing. And to end the show, he signs it to say that he is now joining with them and he is part of the Vision's team.
But now, now when I watched this segment, right, thinking, right, so Seth was screwing Drew before when the Vision was all one.
Yep.
Could the ruse be that Drew McIntyre was initially the head of the Vision?
Well, now that is very interesting, actually, mate. I never thought it like that. You know what I mean?
Have you seen the way Heyman handed that contract over? Was the same facial expressions he had when he handed Roman Reigns the contract, when Roman Reigns signed it at Payback when he first came back.
Yes, mate. It's the little Easter eggs are actually dropped throughout. Oh, excuse me. If you know what I mean. And I'm looking forward to seeing obviously what happens on Monday Night Raw to see where it goes and how we get to where we need to for War Games, and then the same on Friday with SmackDown with the women's stuff and that. But I'm just really looking forward to seeing how it all plays, and the same with NXT with Gold Rush, how that's going to go over the next 2 weeks and stuff. So, do we have, and I'm sure I know where it's going to be, but do you have a match of the evening for SmackDown, my friend? Or a segment that you preferred other than a match in the evening?
I like the R-Truth segment. I
Yeah.
want to say that was segment of the night.
Segment of the night, it's got to be that. But for me, my match of the night, it's got to be the usual open challenge match.
I mean, Ilya, he's that close. I think, right, and I know I say it I know I say it most of the time,
Yep.
but do we get a blast from NXT UK's past, and we get like I know we know who's under the El Grande Americano masks, but do we see Tyler Bate come in?
And they're
To
facing facing the
challenge?
option. Ah, yeah.
And then the interference with the Americano that's been left behind come down, try and interfere. Then it works. Tyler Bate wins the match, and then there's some sort of confusion because he ends up with the United States title round his waist, but in the gear of Americano. You see,
That, yeah. No, that is absolutely, that's class. That I could fall into and see potentially happening, if you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But yes, well, thank you. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not. Thank you again for joining me this evening, my friend, and covering Raw, SmackDown, and NXT for last week. I'm sure we are trying to get something together for Wednesday, but we'll figure that out.
yeah, it's okay. Finish on Wednesday.
If not, so right, we will definitely be back on Sunday, 8 p.m.
Let me just double check what time I finish.
We
On
might say
what,
8:30, just in case John is working later. But whilst he checks that,
I am working Saturday. Not Saturday, Sunday, 1 p.m. till 7 p.m.
so we'll be on 8 o'clock on Sunday evening then to discuss Raw, and SmackDown and NXT, and potentially touch a little bit base on AEW.
Oh,
Yes.
I forgot to mention, we would like to give condolences to Bob Cordell's family, who sadly has passed away at 95.
Thank you for making me aware, because I wasn't aware. So condolence to the family at this time. So yes, I leaving on a weird note, but then going to say bye. You can't just do that, man. Wow. Yeah. So next Sunday, 8 p.m. You will see myself, John, and hopefully Alex, because he was away at a wrestling show this evening, and he's been keeping myself and John and others updated. Thank you again, John, for joining me again this evening, and thank you for anyone who has been keeping an eye and paying attention. Sorry, but before I do go,
Before you call, some breaking news from Progress Wrestling.
yes, go for it.
Rain Leverkusen will face Emerson Jane for the Progress Women's World Championship title match on the 30th of November.
Oh, nice. That'll be a very, very good match, and one people would like to see. Right. Well, again, for the third and final time, thank you again, John, for joining me this evening. Thank you for anyone who's been around and just not said, but watched us speak complete and utter tosh about WWE and go off topic like we always do. We will be back next Wednesday at some point and next Sunday for definite at 8 p.m. So thank you and keep it real, everyone.